story about one of the wisest cats of all time. Would you like to hear it? Well then, let me tell you the story about Puss in Boots. Once upon a time, there was a poor miller who had 3 sons. When the miller died, the first 2 sons greedily took everything and left the house. They only left behind the cat for the 3rd son. The son was very sad. He loved his father the most and wept for him and said, "I have nothing but this cat. I will eat him, and then soon I shall die too." Hearing this, the cat said, "Master, please give me a bag full of carrots and grain, and see what great wonders I can do. Please give me a hat and your boots too." The miller's son gave the cat all that he asked for. Puss in Boots now set off for the jungle. He laid a trap with carrots in it and caught a rabbit. Puss in Boots also caught a couple of partridges with the grain his master had given him. Puss in Boots then went to meet the king. He presented the partridges and the rabbit to the king and said, "Your Majesty, these are the gifts from your master, the Marquis of Carabas." The king was very pleased with the gifts. On his way back home, Puss in Boots passed by some fields where harvesters were working in the sun. He commanded them, "If anyone asks you to whom these fields belong to, you must reply that it belongs to the Marquis of Carabas. If you do not agree, I will get the ogre to eat you all up." The workers were frightened of the ogre and agreed to do so. When Puss in Boots reached home, he told his master, "Master, you will be meeting the king soon. Do as I say. Go to the river nearby and have a bath." The man did as his cat told him to. He took off his clothes and jumped into the river. Puss in Boots immediately took all of his clothes and hid behind a rock nearby. When the king's carriage passed by, the cat went up to the king and said, "Your Majesty, my master is drowning. Some thugs robbed him of his fine clothes and pushed him into this river. Please, save him." The king, on hearing this, commanded his servants, "Save the Marquis of Carabas and bring him the finest clothes to wear." They did as he told them. The cat and his master were very happy. Now, when the carriage passed by the field, the king stopped by and asked the workers, "To whom do these fields belong to?" They replied, "The Marquis of Carabas, your Majesty." The king was very pleased to hear this. In the meantime, Puss in Boots ran ahead of the king's carriage to a castle nearby. There lived a ferocious ogre. The cat said to him, "I have heard of your mighty powers. I have heard you can become anything you want to." The ogre laughed, "Ha ha 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 ha," and decided to show Puss in Boots all his powers. He replied, "Of course," and instantly turned into a lion. Then the ogre became a monkey, and finally its real self. Now the clever cat challenged, "I am sure you cannot become one of the tiniest creatures in the world. You can never become a mouse." The ogre was enraged and said, "Watch this." Saying this, he turned into a tiny mouse. Puss in Boots quickly pounced on him and ate him up. When the king and the miller's son reached the castle, the cat said, "Welcome, your Majesty. This is the castle of the Marquis of Carabas." The king was very pleased to hear this. The king asked the miller's son to marry his youngest and loveliest daughter. The miller's son knew that the king's daughter was very beautiful and agreed. Soon, they were married laughter in the castle.